Listen, I I'm a podcaster of the people. I want to stress I'm not complaining, I'm not griping, I'm not beefing. I but I saw this and just busted out laughing, and I really don't want to naysay potential, but because it's a listener, longtime listener of the YouTube channel that put the request that I take a look at it, and I really don't. I don't like just outright trashing things. I don't. It may sound like I do. That's just because there's so much crap out there. I don't enjoy it. It just seems to happen, right? So you know, Christoph Kremeyer, YouTube, wanted me to cover this bitcoin360AI, found at bitcoin360AI.com. And Christoph, trust me, I don't, it's not, I'm not trying to trash it. And I want to stress, I'm not trying to trash it. Please don't take everything I say as just an overt intent to absolutely crap on this. But come on, not you. I'm saying this. Come on. This is. I understand what they're trying to do. I got one fundamental question for everybody that listens to this coverage and had seen presumably some news article about it, which they paid for, which is fine. They paid for it. I'm just saying they paid for it, or that got hyped on social media, or anybody who's listening to this and is curious about this. I got one key fundamental thing to ask you, and that is why? Why would you do this other than let's get into it? Because I think it's important. So the intent here, and I'm showing it up on the screen, the intent here behind this ostensibly is to be a bot software. First of all, I'm concerned with them forcing you to sign up for a thing with your name, email, and a phone number. Now, here's what I found funny. They do not have the United States on here. However, they have American Samoa, which is a protectorate for the United States. They also have the U.S. Virgin Islands. Of course, that's U.S. Virgin Islands. So I find it funny that you support countries that are covered under the auspices of the United States government, but you don't cover the United States themselves. I suspect the reason is because of Gary Gensler and SEC, and they're trying to duck the smoke with what they think is going to happen. Now, of course, Christoph Kremeyer is from Germany, and Germany appears to be on the list, at least last I saw it. There it is, Deutschland. Okay, so he's good to go. I'm saying that the fact that they're not consistent with their phone list drop down tells me this might have been rushed out because they didn't do proper due diligence to understand that the U.S. Virgin Islands, as well as American Samoa, aka American Samoa, are protectorates under the United States and thus subject to the same federal law as those two. They do have their own local provincial governments and laws. However, they are covered under the auspice of what the feds say about how they use their money. So my gut, it tells me that they just assumed, just cut the U.S., we'll allow everybody else to do it, and didn't think, let's get everybody underneath the United States umbrella, because had they done so, I think this list might be different. So I think it's rushed out. That's my point. Even Guam, you can make an argument case. I think this was rushed out. I think this was not well thought out. They just pushed out the door. Fine. Here's the problem. It feels like a solution in search of a problem. I've said before that I like utility. Fine, this is a utility. But I also like to see that number one, you're doing something nobody else is doing. You're creating that new bar. This is not doing something nobody else is doing. This is doing something you can do in pretty much any other arena very easily, much better, likely more legal. Like I see it, it's like a Me Too. We can do that too. I'm not a fan of it, especially because I don't see that it does anything better than those others. And I'm going to get to why here in a second. Let's go through the list here of my other concerns. As I went down, they started trying to answer all these questions here about, and these are presented to try to convince you, persuade you, which means they already knew going in they were going to be perceived as a scam. Okay. If I go down then to their FAQ, first of all, go up here, right? Is this legit? All things considered, yes. Whatever. Is this a scam or legit? No. And then down here, is this safe? I mean, it seems like they really are doing the damnedest they can to try to reassure you that they must be trustworthy, despite not really having any information that does so. Well, then I went down to their frequently asked questions. Is this real? Well, okay. Why are you asking them? That's not real. What does that mean? It's a software, but does that mean it's legit? No. How much does it cost? It's free. There's no commissions. There's no fees. There's no withdrawal charges. I'll get to that in a second. What amount of money can I make? Average profit per day is $1,300, but we can't guarantee that. Where are you getting your average from? Average of what? Based on what? For which tokens? If it's only Bitcoin, you're damn sure not going to get 1,300 average every day. It's not possible. There's not enough volatility to create enough arbitrage to justify that number without a significant investment. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars. There's no way. Per day, you'd have to put tens of thousands of dollars in there and then bank on significant volatility and then hope that arbitrage does the rest. That is highly unlikely. What numbers of hours per day will I need? The robot will adjust to you. It'll take you about 20 minutes to fix it. Okay, so what you're saying is it takes you 20 minutes to get the thing set up, to do what you want it to do, to presumably get to 1,300 a day. So what you're telling me is that for 20 minutes investment one time, a person can bank more per day than the average person makes on a job, on a full-time job. And you don't present the investments. All right. Is it a scam? Pretty sure it asked that question before. Is it safe? Is it real? Is it a scam? So you already answered the question. So why are you continuing to beat the bush about, is it a scam? Is it a scam? Maybe you're a scam if you're trying to convince people not to scam. I'm just saying. No, it's not a fraud. That's not what was asked. Okay, whatever. Award winning. What awards? I'll get to that in a second. Is this legal? Of course, that asked that way up to down here. Legit, legitimate, safe, real, legal. How much do you need to try to convince somebody something is legit? If you have to keep browbeating that you're legit, you might not be legit. That's what it is. That's used car salesman mentality. You shouldn't need to browbeat that you are, quote, legit. I find that sketchy. This is my favorite one. This is hilarious. Okay. Top rated by who? Gets attention from mainstream media. Listen, gets attention from mainstream media. Okay. All right. Here are some of the celebrities who get associated with fake news sites. So first, we say gets much attention from mainstream media. You would assume that you would give examples of said mainstream media that got the attention. Here's the thing. They didn't. I'll tell you why. Because if they had, we can trace back that they bought those ads. Take you $1,300 and you can list in the news all you care to. So this statement is stupid because you didn't get attention from the media. You paid for it. All right. Here's some of those. Tesla. Well, they invested in Coinbase. I mean, it's a wallet for Bitcoin. It's kind of related, right? That was significant, but we don't know if they invest in us. Jeff Bezos. Yes, he did. You're like, oh, Jeff Bezos talked about you? Well, he invested in Bitcoin. I mean, he owns stock. So if you add up that, he could be worth quite a lot. And a recent report suggested that he invested in it, but no official confirmation received. This is where I laughed. So, quote, a recent report suggested that Jeff Bezos had invested in bitcoin360, but you can't link to said report. So you're speculating on something that, how did you know that it is there? How did you know that it exists? If you saw such a thing, why don't you link the fuck to it? Sorry, that's what it is. Why don't you link to it so that people can see it and prove what you're saying to be the truth instead of making speculative statements that you can't back up because you look like a scam? Going on. Amazon, yes, they did, which of course at one point was run by Jeff Bezos. 2017, they invested in Coinbase, has nothing to do with them. Neither does this. Who cares that he invested in Bitcoin? Has nothing to do with you, bro. They invested in Coinbase. That's an American crypto exchange company. Who cares? They invested in a Circle, digital currency startup. Who cares? However, he's never embarrassed us. So why the F? And then you say he. Amazon's not a he. It's a company. So why are you mentioning it? Number one. Number two, what the heck does this have to do with you? Going on. Elon Musk. Yes, he invested $10 million in the cryptocurrency project Open Bazaar. Has nothing to do with you. He also owns 10% Tesla stock. Has nothing to do with you. However, he has not publicly mentioned Bitcoin 360. So why the F listen to it? Like, listen, You're giving a bullet that's you're telling people that celebrities, quote, much attention from mainstream media referring to your project, and you're calling out celebrities, and none of them, you're admitting, yeah, they didn't talk about us. Why are you listening on your side? What? Anyhow, quote, we've been around for nearly 3 years and built an excellent reputation among our users. So over 3 years, here's what I'm understanding. I'll translate this statement. So after 3 years, you weren't able to get any of these people to mention your project. And I question the choice of the list of the people that you picked as some of the richest people in the world. Why are you picking them? Who cares? What about some of the other ones? What about any other ones? Like I don't care if it's Kim Kardashian at this point. Even freaking whatever that was that he got sued for, they had Kim Kardashian, Ethereum Max, that garbage, right? Even they got Kim Kardashian on board, and you can't get any of these other ones to shill your project. Or if you did, you're not proud to list them under this bullet that you dedicated to these people that have nothing to do with your project. Okay. Many of them who have made money by using our service are ordinary people without experience in cryptocurrency trading. How about you name some of them? Where's your testimonials? Where's your proof of this? How about some tweets that say, yes, I made this money. Here's a screenshot showing I got 1,300 a day, because it doesn't exist. All right. Here's our highlights. Trading platform, crypto. What? Cost, no cost. Withdrawal, free. Type, web-based proprietary. Deposit, credit card, basically. Countries, all except USA. And then violates with the, Guam and U.S. Virgin Islands. And then now I talked about the awards. Award winning. Award of what? There's no awards here. There's no awards anywhere on the site whatsoever. What the F awards did you win? There's nothing here. Like, look, if you call this out, what awards? What are we talking about here? There's nothing there to tell me what alleged awards you won. I looked at their terms to try to understand what the heck they're doing here. United States legal compliance. You, quote, you are not located in a country that's subject to United States government embargo or that has been designated by the United States government as a terrorist supporting country, and you are not listed on any government list of prohibited or restricted parties. I want to talk about this line because here's what I can tell. This is somebody who didn't do any due diligence. First of all, you banned the United States at all. Okay. But you're calling out that it says, quote, subject to U.S. government embargo. What they're talking about is, has the United States said that we're not interacting with this company? And there's a couple of those. Well, I didn't see that they're excluding those from the drop list for the phone number. So you're welcoming them into the thing, and they just say in the terms, hey, just warn a thing and designated by the United States government as a terrorist supporting country, which they have some listed in the phone number list. Quote, you're not listed on any United States government list or prohibited or restricted parties. They can't vet it. They're certainly not trying to verify it. All they ask for is name and email. They're not using Patriot Act lists, OFAC screening. They're not doing anything to do anything about this. All they did was remove the United States. They're not serious about this. This is a generic boilerplate template they copied from somewhere. I guarantee you that's what it is. Okay, whatever. This terms is garbage because it doesn't tell you the terms of the tool. As in, here's what happens if there's a breach. Here's what happens if there's a hack. Here's what happens with all this over. Everybody, I'm going to stress it again. What you choose to do with your money is what you choose to do with your money. I'm not telling you what to do with your money. I have the question I started the top of the episode for. You can do this same darn thing inside a central exchange. KuCoin will happily let you do it. And KuCoin, to my knowledge, is very liberal about who it lets onto its platform. KuCoin not only encourages you to use their bots, they'll actually tell you which bot is probably recommended given the past price behavior of a given cryptocurrency. They'll do good promotions and giveaways and everything under the sun to get you to use their bots. Almost all, certainly not Coinbase, they're garbage, but I'm talking some of these other ones. They got bots like crazy. You can use them, and at least there you're in a trusted exchange, because here I would personally not trust my cryptocurrency to something that is not a true exchange. I'm talking a true centralized exchange, because you don't know what can happen. Is it a custodial wallet? If it's a custodial wallet, it means not your keys, not your coins. At that point, you might as well do a centralized exchange because it's the same risk, but at least there, it's a known organization that's least likely to take your money. Whereas these jokers spun up a thing, can't answer the questions correctly, have to keep browbeating why they're not a scam. If you're looking at that and you want to test it out, I can't tell you to do with your money. I'll tell you, number one, I'm in the US, so it doesn't matter. I consider this garbage because they can't even be arsed to tell you straight up, here's exactly how we do what we do. And here's, we don't have any celebrities. We're not going after shillers. We're not doing that. You just had this pitch of, we're not a scam. We're legit. We're true. We're here. We're da, 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 da. And then you do this marketing campaign. It's clear. I can see all the articles that they paid for to try to get the word out, and all for a product that you already have on centralized exchanges. You already have it on KuCoin for sure. For sure. Bitmart, maybe. Hotbit, maybe. But sure, KuCoin. If you can get in KuCoin, just do it there. And again, KuCoin will tell you which bot to use based on the price movement of a thing. KuCoin will give you giveaways to get on that thing. KuCoin will give you free money to get on the thing. I see no compelling reason, even if they are legit, I see no reason to get on this myself, because nothing of what they said on the site gives me any confidence that I should trust them, because they keep asking me why, trying to convince me why I should trust them. If you have to openly try to convince me why I should trust you, I'm probably not going to trust you. And then when you name all these people and then finalize it with, yeah, nobody's talked about us, nobody's talked about us, you're not giving me any confidence in your product. And I can tell you half-assed it when you put it in there. So you probably half-assed code, and that creates a risk. I would not do it. That said, bitcoin360AI.com, if you want to check it out. I don't personally recommend it, but it's up to you. It's your money. I'm just here. I'm a messenger. Hopefully that is helpful to somebody out there.